What is going on, everyone? Riddick here, and welcome to another episode of Horror Sundays. Down to the point here, I'm going to spoil this movie, okay? I'm not even worried about it because I just don't like this movie, and I'm going to tell you why. Like I said at the end of the last video, I don't like the movie. I get how people can have fun with this movie, you know, but for me, it just... Man, if I never see it again, I won't be missing anything. That's all I know. So, we have a movie here that starts out with Cotton Weary, who now has his own television show, 100% Cotton. And Ghostface gives him a call wanting to know the whereabouts of Sydney. Well, of course, he doesn't cooperate with this, and that leads to Ghostface breaking into his home and ultimately killing his girlfriend and him as well. So that's the opening kill of the movie. And then we flash to the title sequence. Cotton Weary out just like that. Then we see Detective Mark Kincaid, played by Patrick Dempsey, contact Gale Weathers to discuss the murders, which prompts her to travel to Hollywood, where she finds Dewey has been working as a consultant of some sort on the set of the movie Stab 3. Now this movie, Stab 3, drives me insane, okay? You're making a movie called Stab 3, right? The actors playing the parts in Stab 3 are literally dressed in the exact attire of the characters from the original Scream movie, aka Stab 1. So you have Gale Weathers, who looks just like Gale Weathers from Scream 1, right? Dewey, who looks just like Dewey from Scream 1. And of course, you know, the Woodsboro homes in the neighborhood and all that. Everything about it looks like Scream 1. So why exactly does it look like Scream 1 or Stab 1? Yet it's called Stab 3, and by all accounts, it looks like a remake almost of the original Stab. So you're literally just remaking the first movie again, I guess. Of course, we find out the director of the movie is Roman Bridger, and he may have more ulterior motives to this whole thing. Sydney is working as a counselor, like a telephone counselor for a women's crisis hotline that she has come up with, I guess. And she gets a little phone call from Ghostface, only now... And then we saw this in the opening as well, which drives me insane as well. But we get Sydney getting a phone call from Ghostface, and it's her mother's voice. You're asking yourself, now how can this be? What we saw in the beginning of the movie, this Ghostface has a super high-tech futuristic voice changer that can use anybody's voice, which right there takes me right out of the movie immediately. You took something like the original Scream, you had the voice changer, you know, voice changers change your tone of your voice and pitch of your voice, and I could literally envision Billy Loomis using that voice changer and it sounding like that, right? Hell, even in Scream 2, I can envision Mickey or whoever, Mrs. Loomis, using that voice changer and it sounds like that. I can envision that. I can suspend my disbelief for that. For this, forget it. As soon as you're showing me this dude has a voice changer that uses everybody's voice, you've already taken me out of the movie, and I'm down the street and going on to the next thing, man. I can't, like, I just can't stand it. It drives me insane. She gets a phone call, and it's Maureen's voice, and of course this spooks her. In the midst of it all, the actress Sarah Darling ends up getting killed by Ghostface, which... You know, at this point, who really cares? Martha Meeks, who is Randy Meeks' sister, pays a visit to Sydney, shows her a videotape that Randy had, recorded previous to his death. They found out real quick killing off Randy in the last movie was stupid because he's the one that told you all the rules about the movies, right? Well, she brings a videotape that he put all the rules of the trilogy on. So Dewey, Gale, and Jennifer attend a birthday party for the director Roman Bridger. However, at this party, Ghostface strikes and Roman is killed. Everything goes into chaos. At this point, Gale and Dewey are captured by Ghostface, and Ghostface lures Sydney to the mansion, and it's kind of a hostage situation and forces her to, you know, drop her weapon, get rid of her weapon or whatever, in order to free Dewey and Gale. She gets in there and she's untying them and getting them free, but Ghostface appears, but unbeknownst to him, she had a hidden gun, a hidden second gun that she ends up attacking him with, shoots him, and he goes flying. Then of course Kincaid shows up and tries to help, but ends up getting knocked out for his troubles. Sydney goes and runs and hides. In the midst of doing this, she encounters Ghostface, who's alive after being shot. It is then revealed that Ghostface is Roman Bridger, the director of Stab 3. Lame. Why, you ask, is it this crazy lunatic director? Oh, well, you know, because they just couldn't resist jumping the shark to find a reason for this killer to even exist in this movie. And that is that he is Sidney's half-brother. Ooh. Nobody cares. Of course, he survived the gunshots because he had a bulletproof vest on. He's sitting here spouting off his little plan to frame Sidney for the murders and all this and that. They get into a fight, and of course, Roman shoots Sidney, only to find out that Sidney was wearing a bulletproof vest too, so she got the one up on him. They're fighting and whatnot. And Dewey comes along and goes and to finish him off, shoots him in the chest, and she's like, "What are you doing? You gotta shoot him in the head." Of course, he shoots him in the head. And that's the end of that. Then we get Dewey, who ends up proposing to Gale to get married, and yay, happy, and yeah, like, whatever, okay? Here's the thing. I cannot stand this movie. It's literally Scooby-Doo without Scooby. It's not serious whatsoever. It's not a scary movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's not even gonna scare little kids. It's that Scooby-Doo-ish, okay? And I mean, hey, which begs the question, why are you going the Scooby-Doo route? You killed Shaggy in the first movie. But seriously, I mean, I understand why they were kind of doing that, because of the whole situation back then with, you know, the Columbine situation, and they were trying to make it more comedic and less terrifying, you know, scaling things back just because of the way things were going in society at the time. I really think it could have been done better than what we got here. I mean, it's just unwatchable to me. I mean, I get it. I look at it, and I can see how people can have fun with this movie and enjoy it and have a laugh. And that's not what I want to see when I'm going into a Scream movie. I want to see something that's going to be, yes, there's comedic elements, but we're taking the damn content seriously, and we're, you know, pushing an actual serious narrative that's actually believable. Not, you know, Sidney has a half-brother named Roman, and then, you know, the next killer is going to be Roman's half-brother of a brother whose cousin came down, and that cousin had a cousin. That's the killer in the next movie. It's just, like, ridiculous. If you want to really set the story and make it make sense, you got to give me more than that. You got to give me something more than just a couple quick little lines at the end of, well, hey, you know, I'm your half-brother, so that's why I got mad. There's nothing I can say I'm going to make anybody happy that does like the movie. If you like the movie and you enjoy the movie, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I'm a realist. I can look and see why people would like the movie and have fun with it. You know, these over-the-top cornball B-roll horror movies, you know, there's a lot of them out there that are like that. I can understand it, but for me, it's just, man, the second that voice changer came on the screen at the beginning of the movie, and we're hearing a completely different voice, and we realize that it's a voice changer that's doing multiple different voices, man, I'm done. Right at that moment, I'm already done. I'm like, okay, so we just threw the entire realistic nature of this series out the window. And yeah, we're just gonna run with this crazy Scooby-Doo crap. And then everybody, there's scenes, you know, where they're running around and they're all like, oh my god, you know, in a big group, like the Scooby-Doo clan, like, oh, what are we gonna solve today, or whatever, you know. And there's faxes coming in, and a house is gonna blow up because they smell gas, but there's faxes. Hey, send another fax. Oh, I better go get it. Boom. And it's just like, man, it's so Scooby-Doo that you can't get any more Scooby-Doo unless you put actual Scooby-Doo in the movie. Positives of the movie. I do like the interactions between Dewey and Gale. That's always fun. Her haircut is another question altogether, but we won't go there with that. The other positive is, I guess, Sidney. She's always usually a positive in these. Don't have no complaints about her. Or, you know, her character and the situation she was in made sense. You know, she was secluded. Ran a little hotline for, you know, women in crisis. Had no problem with that. So that was good. But I mean, it pretty much ends there, man. We're going straight into the negatives. Negatives, just about everything else. The voice changer thing, complete negative for me. That just is the most ridiculous nonsense ever and should not be in here. Not just because I like Roger Jackson's voice, it's just that you're trying to get me to, like, believe this movie. And I'm in a world where, up to this point, it's been played out in a much realistic tone. If we're gonna have voice changers that just do anybody's voice, then well, I mean, shit. Anything's possible. We might as well have Billy Loomis still alive. We might as well have Stu still alive and have them be in the movie and be the killers. What's the freaking, why not, right? If we're having voice changers that can just change voices to whatever, I mean, you've already jumped the shark in that sense, so might as well just have the original killers come back and be the killers. Hell, if Ghostface took off the mask at the end of the movie and we found out that it was Billy and Stu or anything like that, I would have been like, okay, well, hey, you know, you already got voice changers in the movie that clearly are not realistic by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, you know, might as well, right? And I get it, the voice changer in original Scream and Scream 2, and particular voice and voice changer is not possible with a real voice changer, but it's believable because it's one voice. It's just a, you know, a low-end voice, one voice. You talk into it. People could technically mimic a voice and make that sound like that in a real voice changer. It's not going to be exactly like it, but at least it's believable that that voice changer is making one singular voice sound when people talk through it. Okay, not, hey, I can make you know, Bobby Joe's sound. I can make Ricky Bobby on the Hills sound. I can make Donna Joe's sound. Come on, man. Like, no. So no, that's a negative. Other negatives are the goofy ass cast, the filler cast. They're just like, no, unbearable to watch, like Parker Posey or whoever the hell that was. Parker Posey, you know, she's funny and all, but my God. And the other cornball that was playing Dewey, and just, it's just unwatchable. Like, I can't, like, they're just too much for me, man. It's too Scooby-Doo. Like I said, I get it. I understand why they tried to do that, but it ain't working for me, man. And other negatives would be, obviously, the reveal of the killer. It's like, here we go. Roman the half-brother, right? And then, you know, whoever else. It's just like, God. And that's another case where you see him a little bit in the movie, right? And then you see that he's dead, and you're like, oh, he's dead. And then it's revealed that it's him after all. And there was nothing to sit here and weave a tale throughout the movie to even get you guessing who the killer could be. Not one single person thought, oh, well, it might be him, because there's nothing there to say it might be him, okay? It's just another Mickey, only with a little bit more screen time. And then the other negative, and the final negative, is this whole film within a film, Stab 3. What is going on here? You already made Stab. It's literally only a few years after in the movie timeline. And now you're just making Stab again because it ain't a sequel. I don't care how many people try to tell me, oh, it's a sequel. No, it isn't. Not when they filmed this movie, when they were making this movie and they put all the characters and the costumes and the town and all that stuff. How is it a sequel when the Gale Weathers characters dressed just like Scream 1? The Dewey characters dressed just like Scream 1. All the other characters are dressed just like Scream 1 because they're making Stab 1 again, basically. They're like remaking Stab only a few years after Stab was out. It's an absolutely confusing mess. I get it. The director was making his own Stab. He was going to rewrite the story of the original Stab. I get it. I get it. It's just completely convoluted and dumb, okay? And yeah, that's it, man. I don't know. Sorry, but this is where it's going to get 1 out of 5 knives. A simple 1 out of 5 knives. Boom, boom. No good, don't like it. I just don't like this movie. I'm sorry to all of anybody that might be watching that enjoys this movie. I understand why you enjoy it. I can see why you enjoy it. I'm a realist. I can watch it and understand why that would be. I, myself, cannot enjoy this movie. It drives me absolutely insane. I don't know what else to say. With the next review in Scream 4, you might be surprised to find out that I actually like Scream 4, and I will tell you why in the next review. With that said, I will catch you all down the road.